Let me ask you a question. When it comes to the Prophet's visit to Taif, are you really confident that you can answer any exam question on this topic in your O-level Islamiyat paper? Remember, this is not just another event from the Seerah. It is one of the most important exam topics. Examiners are not simply looking for the story, they expect you to know the sequence of events, the reason behind this journey, its outcomes, and the key lesson that can be applied in your answer. Dear students, if you want to master the Prophet's visit to Taif from the exam perspective and feel fully prepared for any question, then make sure you watch this video until the end. Dear students, this journey was not a trip, it was a defining moment of pain, patience, and incredible mercy. It all happens around the 10th year of prophethood, a time so tough as non Amul Hazan, means the year of grief. Dear students, the question that we are going to attempt is the Prophet, peace be upon him, went to spread Islam in Taif. Write about the background and details of this question. In the answer of this question, we will mention introduction, background, main events of this visit, and conclusion. Dear students, need to add a paragraph in the beginning as introduction and mention these points in introduction. After facing increasing persecution and rejection in Makkah, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, continued his mission of inviting people to Islam with patience and determination. Hoping to find support for Islam and a safe place for Muslims, he traveled to Taif, a nearby city. This journey became one of the most difficult yet significant events in his life, demonstrating his perseverance, mercy, and complete trust in Allah. Dear students, think about where the Prophet, peace be upon him, was at. He had just lost his beloved wife Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha, who was his rock, his emotional and financial support. Then his uncle Abu Talib, the man providing his tribal protection from the Quraysh, also passed away. Suddenly his shields were gone. The persecution in Makkah, already bad, became brutal. The Muslim community was still small and exposed. So the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, looked outside Makkah, searching for a new ground to plant the seeds of Islam. His gaze fell on Taif, a city about 70 to 90 kilometers away, hoping its people might be more receptive. Dear students, in the month of Shawwal, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, started his journey for Taif on foot with only his loyal companion Zaid bin Harithah. Dear students, keep in mind this name is Zaid bin Harithah, not Zaid bin Haris. This was not a grand procession, it was just a man with a divine message. Hoping someone would listen, he stayed there for 10 days. When he got there, he went also to the top to the three brothers who were chiefs of a powerful tribe, Bani Saqif. First was Abu Yalil, second was Masood, and third was Habib. He presented the message of Islam to them. They called to worship the one true God. Their response was not just a no. It was a cruel custom of mockery meant to humiliate him. First brother Abdullah responded with open contempt and mockery. He said, if God has truly sent you as messenger, then I will tear down the curtains of Kaaba. Astaghfirullah. His words were not just a rejection of the Prophet's message. They were a deliberate expression of ridicule and disrespect. Dear students, the second brother was Masood responded, could not God find anyone better than you? Astaghfirullah. You sent as his messenger. His remarks was intended to mock and belittle the Prophet, rejecting the message throughout ridicule rather than sincere discussion. Dear students, third was Habib dismissed him with pure arrogance, saying, I cannot even speak to you. If you are prophet, you are too great for me to address. And if you are a liar, Nauzubillah, you are not worth any time. Their rejection was complete, but it did not end there. Fearing that the prophet message might still influence the people of Taif, the chief incited a mob against him. They ordered the townspeople, including slaves and troublemakers. They chased him and Zayd out of the city, yelling insult and throwing stones at him. The stones hit the prophet's body over and over, and he bled so much that his own blood caused his sandals to stick to his feet. Whenever he collapsed from pain and exhaustion, they would force him back up and continue the attack. Zayd, trying desperately to shield him, was wounded himself. His head split open in process. This torment was reported so scaring that it was described as one of the most difficult days of his life. Even more so in some ways that the Battle of Uhud. Their students, finally exhausted, wounded, and bleeding, the Prophet, peace be upon him, and Zaid bin Harithah founded refuge in a walled archer. The archer belongs to our two Meccan brothers, Utbah and Shaybah, who were the sons of Rabi'ah, and Rabi'ah were among the Prophet's opponents. As they watched from a distance and saved the Prophet condition, a sense of tribal compassion stirred with them. Despite their opposition to his message, they were moved by the sight of his suffering. They told their young Christian slave Addas to take a bunch of grapes to two men. Addas brought the grapes, and as the prophet read for them, he said, Bismillah, in the name of Allah. Those words stopped Addas in his track. He was from Nineveh in modern day Iraq, and that was not phrase you heard in Arabia. He asked, people here does not say that. What does it mean? The prophet gently asked him, where are you from and what is your religion? Adas replied, I am a Christian from Nineveh. A look of recognition came over the prophet's face. He smiled and said, you are from the city of righteous man, Yunus ibn Matta. Adas was completely astonished. He asked in amazement, how do you know about Yunus? No one in this part of Arabia was expected to know the prophets of his hometown with such familiarity. The prophet replied with calm certainty, he was my brother, he was a prophet, and I am a prophet. In that single moment, everything changed for Addas. The truth in the prophet's words, his gentle authority, and the bond shared by the prophet touched Addas' heart. Their students, overwhelmed by what he had heard, Addas accepted the truth. He bowed with deep respect and kissed the prophet's hands and feet, which were still covered with blood and dust from the attack at Taif. In the midst of hardship and rejection, a single seed of hope had planted in the most unexpected way. Dear students, after encounter with the Addas, the angel Jibreel appeared along with the angel of mountains. Jibreel said that Allah had seen everything, the rejection, the mockery, the stoning, and had sent angel of mountains to whatever the prophet commanded. The angel of mountain then spoke, his voice full of power. O Muhammad, I am here to do as you say. If you order, I can crush the people of Taif between two hills. This is a critical moment for your exam answer. Here was the offer of divine justice, a chance for revenge against the people who had just brutalized him. What did he do? Dear students, the prophet chose mercy instead of revenge. He replied with words that had echoes throughout history. No. Instead, I hope that Allah will bring forth from their descendants people who will worship Allah alone and will not associate any partners with Him. Rather than seeking punishment for the people of Taif, the Prophet, peace be upon him, prayed for their future generations, demonstrating extraordinary patience for forgiveness and hope in Allah's guidance. Dear students, this is the ultimate example of his character as Rahmatul lil Alameen, a mercy to all the worlds. 12 years later, in 988, the whole of Taif accepted Islam. Dear students, on the return journey, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, spent the night at Nakhlah. The following morning, a group of jinns from Nasibin passed by. When they heard the Prophet reciting the Quran, they were deeply moved and accepted Islam. Then they returned to their people and conveyed the message of Quran that they had heard from the Prophet. As a result, a large number of jinn embraced Islam, as was mentioned in Surah Al-Ahqaf, verse 29 and 30. Dear students, this is a long reference. I do it a short as importance. And remember, when we directed to you a group of jinns to listen to the Quran, they returned to their people as warners. They said, "O our people, we have heard a book revealed after Musa, confirming what came before it. It guides to the truth and to a straight path." When the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, reached at the place of Hira, he met Abdullah ibn Urayqit. Zayd advised to the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, according to Arab custom, they should seek the protection of our respected leaders before entering Makkah, as the people of Makkah had become hostile towards them. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, first sent Abdullah ibn Urayqit to Al-Aqnas ibn Shuraiqat to request his protection, but he refused. Then the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, sent Abdullah ibn Urayqit to Suhail ibn Amr, who also declined to offer protection. Finally, Holy Prophet approached Mutim ibn Adi, who agreed to grant him protection. The Prophet spent the night at Mutim ibn Adi's house, and the following morning he entered Makkah under the protection. Dear students, remember to structure your answer well for a 10-mark question. Use these themes to build 4 to 5 strong paragraphs. Start with the theme, use an event from the story as proof, and explain the lessons. Dear students, need to add a paragraph as conclusion in the end of your answer and discuss these points in your own words. Although the Prophet's visit to Taif ended in rejection, humiliation, and physical suffering, it became one of the greatest examples of his patience, perseverance, and mercy. Instead of seeking revenge, he prayed for the guidance of the people of Taif. On his return, Allah confirmed him by sending the angel Jibreel with the angel of mountains, whose offer to destroy Taif he refused. The visit to Taif remains a powerful lesson in steadfasting, compassion, and complete trust in Allah despite the greatest hardship. Dear students, master these details, understand the lessons, and you will be able to walk into your exam ready for anything. You will be able to analyze these events not just as history, but as a profound lesson in leadership and faith. And that's exactly what examiners are looking for. Dear students, if you found this guide helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more Oliver Islamiyat content. Let me know in your comments which topic you want me to cover next. Keep studying, stay focused, and you will get result you are working for. Thank you. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.